Hello, and welcome to Non-Mendelian Genetics Part 2. The exceptions continue. So we talked about already incomplete dominance, where the heterozygote has an intermediate phenotype. We talked about multiple alleles, where there is more than two alleles available in a gene pool. But remember, an individual never can have more than two alleles. And we talked about codominance, where both phenotypes of codominant genes are expressed in the same organism. So next we're going to talk about polygenic inheritance. So when traits are influenced by several genes. And I've kind of alluded to this in class, and a lot of these conditions describe human genetics. So if you have, so we talk about eye color, the eye color gene. There really is not one eye color gene. There are several eye color genes. Skin color is the same way. And if you think about a characteristic that shows a range of phenotypes instead of discrete phenotypes, like plants, the colors, it's like purple or white, okay? It's not purple, light purple, lavender, puce, dark purple, there's no range. It's one or the other. But in humans, skin colors, if we kind of lined everybody up, there's a slide that lines everybody up by skin color shortly, there's a gradient of color, okay? And these, so again, traits like height, skin color, body build, in humans, hair color, grain color in wheat, they are determined by more than one genes, two or more genes, and it's called polygenic inheritance, okay? Traits that are controlled by polygenic inheritance also are usually strongly affected by the environment, okay? So which further blurs the difference. It gets you an even wider range of phenotypes, okay? According to research, human height is controlled by about 180 genes. That is a lot of genes. So again, it's not, you're going to be tall or short based on what your parents are. You're going to be similar to your parents, but there's a wide range of what you can be, okay? Skin color is controlled by 3 genes. And they have incompletely dominant alleles, which is why you get the blending and the intermediate phenotypes. Okay. Oh, and here's the slide I was talking about. So this kind of lines everybody up, and you see how you get a gradient, okay, from light to darker for skin color. Okay. So always, you get something like this in your phenotype, you're always going to be controlled by more than one gene. Okay. So that's polygenic inheritance. Okay. You can also have another type of inheritance where one single gene will have multiple effects on a phenotype. Okay. And this is called poliotropy. So you have one gene that can affect a number of phenotypes. And an example of this is the SRY gene, which is on the Y chromosome. It's really, honestly, the only gene on the Y chromosome that has anything to do with anything. But the SRY gene, okay, controls a number of phenotypes, and they all have to do with male sex characteristics. So the SRY gene, it stimulates development of gonads into testicles rather than ovaries. And then it also stimulates development of the prostate, seminal vesicles, penis, scrotum. So all of the secondary male sex characteristics are controlled by one gene that turns on a bunch of other genes. Okay, and that is called pleiotropy. Okay, environment also plays a much bigger role than we think on affecting the expression of genes. Okay, and this is something we call epigenetics, where outside factors, epi means around the edge, outside factors other than what is in your genome, other than your actual genes, control the expression of genes. Okay, so environment can profoundly affect phenotype. And Siamese cats are kind of an example of this. So Siamese cat has the genotype for dark fur everywhere, okay, but the enzyme that produces dark pigment is inactive at temperatures above 93 degrees Celsius or 34 degrees centigrade. Okay, so basically the warmer it is, the less likely that you'll get a dark pigment. So when Siamese cats are born, okay, in the all-encompassing warmth of their mother's uterus, okay, the enzyme is inactive because it's too hot, and they are born pale fur everywhere. After they're born, the ears, nose, paws, and tail become cooler than the rest of the body because there's not as much blood circulating there. Okay, the extremities always become cooler, and that allows the enzyme to become active, and you get the dark pigment. And then that's kind of the characteristic of the Siamese cat breed. And I think there's some Siamese cats. There they are. Look, oh, it's a little kitty cat. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, see, the kittens, baby kittens, are all very pale, very white. But if you look at Mama, her ears, her tail, her feet are darker because they cooled off and allowed the dark fur enzyme to become active. Okay, so we've got, what do we have in here? We had polygenic, Poliotropy, PleiotroPy, and we had epigenetics, sort of close to the word, or environmental influences. And again, all of these, kind of differ or deter from the traditional Mendelian genetic inheritance. Okay? All right. That's all she wrote.